You may know this hymn written by John Crumb sometime in the 20th century, set to the popular French carol melody Noël Nouvelet. It is a favourite Easter hymn of mine, one that I shall miss singing with you all. We are in the midst of strange and unprecedented times, with a deep sense of uncertainty across the entire community. We are all impacted by COVID-19, not necessarily because of illness, but because of paid employment drying up, social distancing, isolation, fear, and for some, the stress and strain of family life as relationships become fraught. What then might words like love, hope, and new life mean in the face of the present difficulties across our world? Let's turn our minds to the hymn and think about it in the context of agriculture, something most of us in this part of the Western District know very well. We know that in good seasons with good rainfall, a crop will yield a fruitful harvest. And we know the opposite to be true, and most of us will remember the shocking droughts of the past, and in many ways of the present, that were and are the source of many economic and mental health problems for farmers the country over. And the ravages of drought continue in parts of the country where there is little rainfall. This time of isolation, when we are unable to gather around the Eucharist, when we are unable to corporally remember the death and resurrection of Jesus, is in a sense a time of drought. I am finding it hard to be at home when so much of my daily life is punctuated by the liturgy of meeting you all here or there, of bumping into people in the streets of our towns, sharing in conversation. So much of daily life is tangible: touch, smell, sound and sight. And when this is reduced to a telephone call or a distant greeting, we can be overcome with loneliness and isolation. I feel so very keenly the absence of the everyday relationships that sustain me. Perhaps you feel the same. The hymn, and indeed the core of our Christian life and faith of death and new life, tells us that life ebbs and flows. At the right time the green blade riseth from the buried grain. Love is come again, like wheat that springeth green. The hope of Easter life that we remember particularly at this time is not something relegated to Easter Day. In fact, every Sunday is Easter Day, as day by day, week by week, we are encouraged to embody what it means to be people of faith, people of hope, and people of love. The love of God for all people is the grain planted deep within us that springeth green. Even in these strange times, the risen Jesus invites us to continue more than ever to share in wishes of peace, messages of love, and not to lose hope. This may mean taking a moment to call to mind each night the things from the day for which you are most grateful, and seeking forgiveness for the moments where you did not quite get it right. Or perhaps you could telephone someone you would not ordinarily speak with to check up on them and wish them well. Perhaps in these quieter days you could take some time to write a letter or card to someone. Perhaps you could read your Bible and pray for other members of our parish family. However you will spend these days, I encourage you to remember that even in times of drought, the cleansing rainfall eventually comes, allowing the crop to grow and the harvest to be brought in. So be of good courage, and do not lose heart, for the Lord your God is with you and will not abandon you. As Her Majesty the Queen said, we will meet again. I wish you love, hope and joy this Easter.